She's got everything she needs. She's an artist. She don't look back. She's got everything she needs. She's an artist. She don't look back. She can take the dark out of the nighttime and paint the daytime black. You will start out standing proud to steal her anything she sees. You will start out standing proud to steal her anything she sees. You'll wind up peeking through a keyhole down upon your knees. She never stumbles, she's got no place to fall. She never stumbles, she's got no place to fall. She's nobody's child, the law can't touch her at all. She wears an Egyptian ring, it sparkles before she speaks. She wears an Egyptian ring, it sparkles before she speaks. She's a hypnotist collector. You are a walking antique. Bow down to her on Sunday, salute her when her birthday comes. Bow down to her on Sunday, salute her when her birthday comes. Halloween, buy her a trumpet, and for Christmas, buy her a drum.
All right. I look a wreck, I know, but hey, I am what I am. Let's see. We'll get a ham on here. What does that mean, Anthony? What does that mean? To me, he made a lot of adamant market calls. Maybe he's just trying to cut. I don't know. I don't know what his goal is. I'm not going to speculate. Let me just. I think Ham might have gone on with Ace earlier, so he might be gone now. But let's see. He'll come on if he does. Great. If he doesn't, not so great for you, but we'll carry on. Hey June. Hey kitties. Rock and roll. Hoochie coo. That's got to be at least 50 years old. That's scary stuff. Might be 55 years old. Let's see. Can you go over what Ham said? If we sell and don't have the shares, we are liable for this. I don't think it's, I don't, if you're worried, you should call into your brokerage firm. I don't think that's an issue. Let me put it this way. It could be an issue if you sell before the shares settle. So if you bought shares like I did this morning, let me see where it's trading. I bought a big 15 shares of the post-split stock. I couldn't resist it when it went down to something. I don't know. It's probably still down. Yeah. Oh, no. Let me tell you about a stock. There's a stock, TELO, TELO. Ham told me about it, and maybe he told you all on Ace's call. But TELO went public, I guess yesterday or the day before, at $7. And the guy taking it public bought all the shares. He bought every single share. And they hit it. Today it's down 2 points at 5. In other words, there are no shares for sale, none, zero, outside of this gentleman who owns every single share of the float. And today there's over 300,000 shares sold, down $2. That's TELO. The whole market is fraud. Gary Gensler is full of chicken shit. Shit, I know you. We used to go to your house and eat chicken. Shit, I know you. All right, let's see. Where ZJYL is trading. 762. So I bought 10 shares at $8 this morning, and I bought 5 shares at $660. So I overpaid overall. So in that case, Augustine, it's possible if I sold it today, Monday, maybe Tuesday, but T+2, if I sold it before settlement, maybe they'd have an argument to come after me. So I'm not going to sell until after settlement. But what I want to tell you, Augustine, is that this morning I couldn't put in a sell order. I'm on E-Trade. They wouldn't let me put in a sell order. They canceled all my GTCs and they wouldn't let me put it in. So I called in. I asked the gentleman, he's very nice, and he said, well, that's been cleared up. You can now put in sell orders. So my opinion, but I think you should, I can't give you firm advice. I would call into your brokerage firm. My opinion is now that they allow the sell orders, it's on them. It's not on you. Hey, Fatal One. I think it's Chris. I think it's a buy. I mean, I'm not unfortunately, I've been pummeled by a lot of these stocks, but I bought more this morning, and I would buy it. I don't think you've even begun to see the trouble caused to the criminals in ZJYL. The volume today is 1.76 million, which is pretty high comparatively. That's 88,000 shares pre-split. The rumor that I believe is there's 10 million shares short, and that the guys in this cadre of Confederates own the entire float, which pre-split was 1.3 million. So I think, Chris, it's still a buy. I don't think there's anything about this nefarious, to use that word, trading that distracts from the story. There's no, I mean, there's no guarantee, but I think you've still got a massive potential short position. You've got back offices that are going to be short-tempered and have this on a short fuse, and you've got a very key group that owns the entire float. So yeah, I think it's still a buy. And to show it, I bought 15 shares, which I know is very puny, but I did it. It's all the cash I had in my account. Yeah, Mike, I agree. Do we assume it'll explode next week? I don't know if I would narrow your focus just to next week. It could do it next week. But I think it could be several weeks. Anyway, hang on. All right, you're live.
Give me 1 second. Oh, I'm just saying I'm going live with you right now.
Number one question is ZJYL
Never heard of it.
a buy now? And will it explode next week? That's the number one question.
Okay, I'm going to start off. I'm going to go ass backwards into that. Okay.
All right.
All right. So everybody understand that? Everyone's telling me that you're live. Yes, William is. I'm live with William right now. All right. So let's go ass backwards into this. All right. So the other day, I'll go backwards. Me and William were in Atlantic City. A friend of mine is a pretty big IR guy. And we were discussing the metals from the COVID shots in people's blood. And my friend said, you got to look at this company. It's going public this week. I said, okay. So I looked at it, and, I had a concern about the metal and from the COVID shots and everyone's bodies, because you don't know if it's going to give you a stroke or whatever the damage may be. So I had an interest in it. Well, the company went public today at $7. That was 1 million shares at $7, was priced at $7. I tried to get my friend involved in it, but one person took the whole thing. And it started trading at 10:47 this morning at 7. The first trade was $7.03. And the naked shorts drove it down to below $5 in 2 hours of trading, 2.5 hours worth of trading. There is no stock. There is no stock. And these guys naked shorted it. They created all these shares already. And what they do is they drive it down, then they start crossing it. So now you got like a Chinese fire drill, these trades going back and forth between all these LLCs, the appearance that people are dumping the IPO. Nothing to do with anything. The gentleman that owns it, my friend spoke with him, and I put a couple of shareholders on the phone with my friend, and he said the same thing. So I confirmed it with a bunch of holders and the names that were in, so that everyone heard about it. All right, so I'm sure some of the people that have been on the call will basically tell you they heard the information directly like I heard it. I reported it to the SEC, the FBI, Secret Service, everyone. Charlie Payne. This isn't a crime from 2 years ago. It's 2 hours ago. Just think about what we're saying here. You just witnessed naked short selling of an IPO where one person owns the whole thing.
Say the symbol again in case people are wondering.
Tom, Eddie, Larry, Oscar. I do not own it. I wish I could buy it, but I don't have the money. I bring these things up to you for a reason, so you understand and you can see what's going on. So if you think that naked short selling is a joke, it is a complete fraud, and you can see it in real time yourself. Okay? So now everybody understands that. You see it right there, like I just pointed it out to you. And that is 2.5 hours of it being a public company. Naked shorted down from 7 to 5, and there's no stock in the company. And I reported to the SEC. They said they're hearing that the short sellers are coming out of Canada. That's what I heard. So there you go. And that is something that is fresh as can be.
Wow.
All right. Now from that, I can lead to everything else. And hold on, let me just tell. I was telling Mark Bazile to take a look at it. And so I'll just go from that. We can go to, I'll go to ZJYL for you right now. From what I understand, none of the big holders sold a share. This is just basically a washing machine here now. No one was selling it 300. You think they're selling it down here? No one's doing it. They know they got these guys trapped. All right. Again, I don't have funds to free up to buy it, but if you wanted to take a shot, this is the time to do it. Where is it? I don't even know where it's trading at, William. I have no idea.
It's 762. The bid is 760 by 765. I get.
You realize that these guys start creating all this volume back and forth amongst themselves.
Well, it's 1.76 million shares.
So if you do 20 for one of that, well, how many shares is that?
Yeah, I did it. It's like 88,000.
That's equivalent to 88,000 shares to 1.7?
That's something like that. I did the arithmetic, yeah.
All right. So I'm just saying, so no one was selling last week when it was 300. All the people that follow us did not buy 88,000 shares of the stock. All right. So what you're seeing is all smoke and mirrors. All right. And I expect it to turn and go. This stock was actually, that people are playing it, trading GDC and all the other Chinese names. They're marking them up and down according to how this stock trades all of a sudden. All right. So again, this is a monster game. These guys are trapped in it, and the people know it. And you know what? There's no way out. All right. So again, you know what I know on those two names. The GDC is obviously started to trade okay, and then all of a sudden ZJL got attacked, and people knocked that one down. It was up to 240. They knocked it down to 2. It's 2.25. The volume has been 70,000 shares a day. It's 140 now. So that stock is actually holding up. All right, I'll go on to Finger Motion. Finger Motion looks like it's getting ready to make that move back up again. That's my opinion of it. I told you the other day the selling stopped. I told you that the other day. And give me that. And the selling stopped, and that's when you start buying things. When the volume on the sell side dries up, and the short selling cha-cha ends, which is what I witnessed. And this is what I saw the other day, and that's when the stock started to turn around. Obviously, the company's working on a special dividend, and we should hopefully get that information soon. And there's been other stories going around about, new transactions, things they got going on, but we'll wait and see what it is. I have no idea what it is. GTII, we're waiting for something from the company, or we're waiting from a regulator. You have any questions?
No, I'm just a lot of hellos.
Well, I think that MMTLP is going to rock this whole world shortly. They can't keep hiding. I think the regulators are going to be subpoenaed. I think that MMTLP should actually go after the brokerage firms. That's the low-hanging fruit here. I don't think Charles Schwab Ameritrade wants anything to do with the U.S. Congress or the senators in this situation. That's what I would go after. I would continue down the road. Against the FINRA and SEC, and let them make believe that they're the government agencies. But I would go after the brokerage firms. That's my opinion on it.
I would too, and I think the regulators are more likely to respond to that kind of information. I think they don't seem to respond to anything. Don Fizz is at James Comer's office, by the way, regarding MMTLP right now.
Right. So that gentleman and everyone else, that's been fighting, MMTLP is going to light this candle. All right. While we're all fighting here on all these crazy fronts, MMTLP is going to expose it. And remember, the whole world is going to change once this happens. Everyone can see. And listen, I'm not here to blow smoke up anybody's ass. All right. But South Korea, all right, I've been trying to get there. I just can't get there. It's not easy to pick up and leave at this point. But they are throwing these guys in jail. China, they're going to throw the fuckers in jail. All right. Everyone's going after these guys. India, the U.S. hasn't said boo. We put up every day. Kristen Shaughnessy puts up news from these countries. Look what they're saying. They're not saying we're going to let you off the hook. We're going to give you more time. They're saying they're going to catch you and throw you in jail. It's a rot. The SEC has done nothing but reward these people. Savvy Management, that fat fuck, is living in Fisher Island. I put up, it's the most exclusive zip code in the world. No crime. Who would want to live on an island? No crime. $10 million condo. He stole all the money. 7,000 people reported that this guy was the criminal. They all signed that paper for change.org, whatever it was. We all know the criminals. We're not going to say that word. We're not stupid. We all know the Alpine, Yorkville, Savvy, Adam Long, I forget that other fucking guy's name who just got caught too. 134 companies. The company guy with the name with the A or the G, I forget his name. These guys are criminals. They destroy everything. And now you're watching a company just went public 4 hours ago, 3.5 hours ago, down $2, and there's no stock in the company. They don't even know what the company does. They just knocked it down. Who wouldn't want to save someone's life who took the COVID shot and you got metal in your body and you want to get it out so that your mother, your aunt, your daughter, your son doesn't have a stroke and drop dead in the street, heart attack? All right, it's known that these shots were not great for our immune systems, and here we are. Here's a company saying they may have it. Go read the stupid thing. I'm not here to push the company. I'm here about stock settlement, and they destroy everything. This thing could possibly save your life, and no one even cares. It's not even their own lives. Think how sick it is. And here it is in that stock, they're getting shorted out of Canada. People do this Wall Street, the people that have been doing this stock are serious Wall Street people. So they know if they're saying Canada, it's coming out of Canada. It's coming out of Canada. And people had enough. Now this company, which is 3 hours old, has to go get enforcement involved and go after these guys. That's Wall Street for you. And I feel bad for investors that sit there and yell, with stocks all going down. We don't make them go down. I don't have any sell tickets to do any of this shit. We're reporting it. And if we don't band together and make it work, we're all going to lose. Just the way it is. And I appreciate everybody that's taken the time to listen to William, who's given you his time. William has given up on his career to help everybody here. I don't know if everybody realizes that. He should just basically take his computer, throw it out the fucking window, and go back to work and make a living. But it's hard. It's hard for me. It's hard for people like William, Ace. These people give up. Abbott. Everyone's trying to sit here, expose this stuff. And we don't have access to making money. We're giving up our time because we believe in the cause. We buy stocks. We're like you. We want them to go up. I can't tell you how much money I'm down in finger motion in the last 3 months, straight down from 7. The numbers are staggering. But I bite my tongue and I vow I'm not going away until I get Jeffrey Easton and his friends. And I'm going to go to every police agency possible until they go get him. And his phone records and his friends, he's done deal with Savvy. They're all tied together. They all work together. They don't kill these stocks by themselves all the time. They work in partnerships like a pack of wolves. Actually, there's a photo on Twitter with all the wolves looking at the companies, the public companies. But that's what this is about. And I apologize if you lost money. I have nothing to do with it. All I can do is tell you about how we work on a trading desk and we see things. And that's what I'm doing. Now I got that fucking stupid picture in my mind. I got to go get it.
Is that cartoon I have? I put it up. If you're talking about the cartoon.
Yeah, it's the cartoon.
Yeah, I have it. I put it up originally. I found it.
Yeah, I got it right now.
All right.
ZJYP, I hope your mom's doing well. Always try to give a shout out to our girl and our Brooklyn girl.
AYP is the best. She's been here since the beginning.
I just put it up there. The targeted company, all the wolves are standing around. I just retweeted it. I mean, what else can you say? It's unbelievable.
Well, I will tell people it's not the topic of these calls, but as the rest of the world grows and enters the first world, and it's happening, whether we want to recognize it or not, countries like China, India, Russia, others are going to create exchanges that are honest. Our exchanges from our bond market, our precious metals markets, our futures markets, and our securities markets are all set up for the fraudsters, and the regulators protect the fraudsters. It's just how it is. But we're not going to have a monopoly on those markets after the other markets replace them. That's my opinion.
Well, you're right. And you know what? The U.S., that's what I wanted to open up an exchange. I wanted to take all the public companies away from the U.S. markets and basically smack them in the face with a disgrace that they are.
Exactly. Exactly.
I mean, it's just unbelievable that this is going on this long.
This gentleman who is a large shareholder in Finger, he has almost 20,000 shares, which he paid, I guess, $5 or $6 for. His wife was anxious, and he's thanking you. I'm thanking you because of the interview we did at Atlantic City with Martin. I did the interview, but I'm telling you guys, Ham did all the groundwork and the cajoling and the effort to make that happen. So.
And the guy didn't ask one of my fucking questions.
And I forgot to ask one of the questions.
I had 2 questions to ask, and I never got any say.
One was, how does the morale of the company after the crappy Barra report?
Right.
And I forgot to ask that. And the other, I forget what the other one
was. An update on the dividend.
Oh, yeah.
And then instead you asked all those other stupid questions.
Yeah.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding.
I think
so
in terms of the dividend,
I did all that work, got everybody there, and they forgot to ask 2 questions.
I think on the dividend, in my own defense, he told me I went through some of it to make sure it was okay to ask. And there were some items he wasn't allowed to talk about. I think that dividend was one of them. So that might be why I didn't. This gentleman is saying congratulations to the TELO, hits a new low CEO, because positively, because he's catching out the system. But man, could you imagine going public and trusting the markets, and one guy buys the entire float and the stock still gets crushed?
I want to bring in somebody. Hold on one second. Say it, William. Hold on. Hold on one second. Take it easy, William. I can't do it fast enough. Hey, William, you there?
I'm here.
I think I have Dirty Mayo with us.
All
You know
right.
Dirty Mayo?
All
I'm
right.
here.
Dirty.
All right, so everyone, I was driving and I heard the story about the TELO. And I said to everyone, I don't want everyone to think I'm fucking nuts and making this stuff up. So I conferenced Dirty Mayo with my friend, and maybe you could just tell him what you heard.
I was on the call, and 100% of it was shorted right when it opened up. What was it? 200,000? What was it? 180,000, 200,000 shares traded, all shorted right off the bat.
And the guy owns what?
All of it.
Unbelievable.
He owns all of it.
He paid $7 million for how many shares?
What was it? I might not be right here. I think it was 5 million.
No, 1 million.
1 million. There you go. Okay, I knew
The
it.
guy bought the whole thing, and my friend knows the gentleman, and he can't believe what happened. And I wanted people like Dirty Mayo to people to hear it, so that you're not thinking I'm making it up.
No, I heard it. You told me. I was on the call. You told me. I'm sorry. I'm a little fired up right now. Dan Porter's this guy.
I was just going to ask you, Dirty, about it. Somebody just said Daniel Borders is accusing me and my crew of fraud on Twitter. Daniel Borders.
Dan Borders, this guy named me, you, Ace, and there was like 10 other people that I don't even know who they are on Twitter. I literally don't know who they are. And he wants to name us saying we're getting, I don't have his tweet in front of me, but he wants to start talking shit. This guy gets paid cash, stock, in NBO.
Listen,
everything else.
Hey, listen, Dirty Mayo. Listen, Dirty Mayo.
I would have paid off Atlantic City if I knew he was going to talk shit like this.
Listen, guys. I don't care about anybody else. This is not. I don't care. I don't read those things. Listen, he can say what he wants. I don't care. I don't know the gentleman from a hole in the wall.
I met him,
and I don't really care. So again, it's none of my
He couldn't even buy into a real fucking poker game in Atlantic City. He played in a free game, and then he wants to start talking shit.
Listen, again, guys, let's move past that. I don't care about him. Let him talk to the wall.
Sorry.
I go to the FBI, and I go to the Secret Service. I don't need someone to throw stones at me.
True.
All right.
Yeah. Forward my number.
Well, listen.
I think it's Rich. I think it's Rich, Dirty Mayo, that this is the guy that promised tomorrow the options are going to go through 16, and he made all the.
He says he's got a $260 billion network. He can't move a 30-cent penny stock. Stay away from his fucking BS, whatever his new oil and gas scam is. Stay away from that. If he's on the board of that company, I mean, I've never sold a stock in my life. I'm definitely going to pull out a short position of that. I mean, it's a disaster.
Let's just take a step back.
We'll talk about it offline later.
I'm not giving financial advice. Sorry.
Listen, Dirty Mayo, 1 second. You reached out to me when I was talking about naked shorts. You're the only person that reached out to me in the beginning.
I reached out to you in NWBO, Northwest Bio. I'm sure there's some people on this call that are still in that. I fucking was talking to not the CEO, but Les Goldman. He's the vice president. I have 3 of his numbers. I was talking to him every day going, fucking fight, do something. He did nothing. And when I saw your stuff on Twitter, I reached out to you. and actually got like you were sending me the numbers, and I was going, holy shit. So I was trying to explain to him. He goes, oh, we hired Copper Black from this guy took down Bin Laden. He's gonna stop the shorts. This was in like 2018. It's 2024. 6 years later, fucking nothing. I don't even know what the stock's at. What's it at? 60 cents? 40 cents? 80?
Yeah, 68 or something like that.
68 cents. They've done nothing. They're suing Citadel for shit, but they're doing the, I mean,
let's change the subject for a second. I know you're angry for it because you lost money there. Have I ever changed my tune to what I said?
Money. No, you haven't. You never changed the tune. No.
That's what this is about. I'm not looking. I talk about stocks so you can understand it. I don't give a shit what to do. I'm not here pumping, doing this. I see what's going on in Finger Motion. We know Lynn Partners is here. We reported on the Kramers. When you followed me on GTII, the stock was 30 cents, 40 cents, right? Where'd it go to?
8, 9, whatever the high was.
And we never changed our tune. We're still here. We know what the Kramers. We caught their prime broker. We've done everything. Listen, I'm not trying to
Kramer, Charlie Mayo. We know their lawyer who's right next door to them. I have the addresses of all their LLCs, all that stuff. I mean, we have the evidence if fucking people would do anything about it, but that's above my pay.
So anyway, listen, I don't want to get in a pissing match with anybody. I'm just trying to tell everybody.
Well, I do want to get in a pissing match when Borders is talking about NBOF, and a bunch of people I know personally are bagged in that pile of shit. He guaranteed no reverse split. The guy comes out, they run the stock, they reverse it to 5. Now it's back down to 70 cents. Basically, you need like a 10 bagger to get back even. And this guy, and he wants to start calling people out. Like, you can't stop the fraud. I get it. I mean, it's the game,
But again, I don't want to get involved in other people's work. That's not my business.
Sorry.
I'm here to go after naked shorts and report what's going on. I'm here for change, and I believe law enforcement's here. If anybody wants to come and sit down, will get you introduced.
If anyone listened to you, the best example you've given was Root. And you told me about Root when it first became public. I think it was 18 or 20 or something like that. And the stock has been reversed. Like, I don't know how many times they've reversed the stock. Killed everyone. Didn't you have someone who owned like 1 million shares or something?
No, he owned 200,000 shares. He paid $25 for it. He lost $5 million.
Yeah.
He's the one that told me. He called me and asked me to look at it because they were getting slaughtered and the stock was getting destroyed. And I told them point blank what they had to do. They did nothing. The stock went to $1. They reversed it back to 25, and it's down to 7 again. His whole position, if he's lucky, is probably worth 50 grand.
Sickening.
So again, I always told you reverse is this. A forward split is the opposite. We watched the forward split. The thing took off. I don't know what's going to happen with it. It went up. It went down. It's all over the place.
I had a feeling there was going to be a pullback today. Someone tweeted about it, and I retweeted it yesterday. Like, I agree. I didn't think it did this far, but I'm not really worried myself.
Well, I introduced you to people that are big players in it. What are they saying?
Well, they're buying. I bought one. 609.
Again, this is what it is. I'm just trying to give people an education what it's about. I told you I don't.
They're saying they're thinking this is gonna rip next week. So,
what do you mean by rip, Dirty Mayo? What do you think rip means in ZJYL?
That means rip fucking faces off next week, man. That means there's gonna be a dead short seller, in my opinion.
All right.
Not my actual advice. Yes.
That's in my opinion, it's the only way to make these people change their behavior is to cost them money. Cost them money.
Did you talk about HOLO yesterday?
No, Ham did. No. We talked about TELO. We didn't talk about Halo.
I don't know.
HOLO. Okay. Well, this is the stock that ran yesterday. I got a call, but it was already up a lot, and I was like, okay, the stock was at 7. Right. But it closed the previous day. It closed Thursday or Wednesday at 1:15 or 1:51. Anyways, the stock was 7 something. It ended up running to 48. I think 48 change after hours.
Right.
I didn't play it, but I was watching it. I think we have a similar move to that.
How high did that one
That's
go?
just, it went from it opened at 3 and it ran to $48 in one day. That was after hours. I don't know what it's doing today. Let me check real quick.
What's the symbol on it?
HOLO. So it's at 21 right now. It's down whatever 25%. But if you look at what it did in the last 2 days, the fucking thing closed at 115 or 150 on Wednesday. Yesterday it opened at 3, ran to 7, 8. I got a call, and then it was doing maybe a lot of the cha-cha stuff you talk about, Ham, right? Up to that, it was moving around, but it looked, and then it just exploded, and then it went to 48 something was the high after hours. I think it closed at 20 something, but after hours it was going all over the place. But still, $3 to.
So I thought
whatever.
I thought someone told you that ZYJL could go to 1,000 after the split.
I've heard a lot of numbers thrown around. Yes.
All right. But 50 would be great. 50 would be,
Yeah, 50 to 100 would be amazing.
100 be 2,000. Yeah.
I mean, William, in my opinion, I'm not, a pro, but if this thing starts moving, it can move real quick. So.
Well, I'm here to tell you one thing. Everything we're watching is fraud. So if you learn how to trade with the fraud, you can make money. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So you can buy the dips, sell the rips, do whatever you like, sell half. I've always told everyone to sell a little bit, right? I've always said that.
I mean, think about it. If I was so stupid, I mean, I'm just thinking myself personally.
Let me ask you a quick question. Dirty Mayo, let me ask you a question. I've helped you a few times with options, all right?
Yes.
And a few times, I know the options expired on you, but
Yes.
you were a 10, 20, 50 call guy, right?
Yeah.
I think you remember back in time, I think I had you in, I forget which one, you had maybe, I got you long 5,000 calls or something. Am I right?
Yeah, this was a biotech, and I'm trying to remember the ticker.
Was it GENE or GE?
No, it was GENE, not GERN, GENE, yes.
And you were close to, you got it, and you had, what did you lose on the trade? When I can remember?
No, I lost nothing in the trade, but I had a chance to win
Millions.
an amazing, crazy amount of money.
So I taught you how to move your options. I taught you how to move your options.
I still don't even know what you were explaining to me.
But he went from owning 50 calls to 5,000 calls. If the short would have broke, he'd be living next to Donald Trump. That's how big it was. And I think I've done it a few times with you. And they haven't panned out because of the criminals. But when you do catch him one time, you'll never have to work again. And that was what I was glad I taught you about. At least you got to see it. And that, I just don't make this stuff up.
No, I'm still trying to remember what you had me do there because it was so crazy. I was like, hold on, am I buying to sell the? It was crazy. But yeah, it was a fun ride. But
you did get the feeling that I didn't learn this of just guessing off a wall, right? I wasn't just
I'm not. This isn't some retard on Twitter. I'm getting stalked by.
Right. It's not like.
You were telling me over the phone exactly what to do, and I was reading the quotes to you. Yes.
Right. So again, I just wanted to let you know that. Listen, I'm always willing to help you, and I could care less about anybody's opinions. People have threatened my life. People have yelled at me, called me everything. This isn't 2 weeks. I've been doing it for 24 years, so I'm used to it. All right. And if I was a criminal, I would have been picked up a long time ago. So I'm still here. And if
Borders wants to go into the SEC or FINRA with me, I met him at the conference. Come on down. We'll go together. You want to accuse me of fraud? I'll walk into the SEC with you. You better bring your compensation and your sales tickets.
You know what, William? I've been thinking a little bit for while Gary or Cam calmed me down. I think Borders is literally losing it, dude.
Really?
I got a text from someone who's a very prominent person on Twitter, has a lot of followers, and said Borders is losing it. He said, just calm down and let it go. That's what he told me.
Oh, so he's
Anyway,
losing
and I
money,
wanted-
maybe.
Just.
Anyway, listen, I wanted everyone to hear Dirty Mayo discuss what we heard about a stock that just started trading. I reported it to the SEC. I asked them for my commission check about reporting the crime already. And that's how
It's in the mail.
4 hours old.
Isn't it? Haven't they given out $4 billion or something like that?
It's in the mail.
Only to the criminals.
They parked a fucking truck in front of their place like 15 times.
Yeah,
Didn't we?
yeah, it's a lot of times, yeah.
10 times, whatever we've done. I don't know.
Right. Anyway, listen, I'll let us go with William. Let me finish this up. I just wanted to make sure
All
you
right,
heard. Go
Thank
calm
you,
down.
Dirty. Come on here sometime.
Dirty Mayo, you still there?
I'm still here, yeah.
Listen, I went to the men's room the other day and I saw your home numbers on there. Your wife putting it out there again?
All right, I'm hanging up for a second.
All right, goodbye. William, I was just thinking that was a Rodney Dangerfield joke. If Richard's here, Rodney Dangerfield, I was listening the other night and he said that he got held up in his neighborhood with a guy with a knife. And he goes, I knew
It wasn't a professional robbery.
The guy had butter on the end of it.
The knife had butter on it.
Anyway, listen, people, again, I'm just trying to show you what's going on. I can't buy all these stocks. The gentleman told me about that stock. I couldn't believe it takes the metal out of your blood. To me, I'm looking at it saying, oh God, that's what so many people are afraid of, the shots that we've taken. And if you read about it, that was the only interest I had in it. And I introduced William to the guy and he told us.
Yeah, I did. Nice
This
guy.
was a week and a half ago.
Smart
I didn't even
guy.
know it was going public.
Yeah.
And here it is that they went after it on day one. How would you like to be the gentleman that bought the whole float? He's down $2 on no stock in the company.
He should buy more. Unbelievable.
So it is what it is. Anyway, I just wanted to make sure I reported it, as much information as I can about it. ZJYL, you heard Dirty Mayo. He's talking to pretty big people. We all know the same person. And they believe it's going to go. With ZJYL goes, good, GDC will follow suit. And that's just how I see what's going on here. Finger motion, I have no concerns about it. I watched the CEO speak. William did the interview. It's right there. Take a look at it. I believe this is a game-changing stock. It doesn't need capital. It has real partners. It has real business. And the only thing that's hurting it is the fraudulent activity. But the fraudulent activity is going to run out of steam. Benchmark said it was worth $5. They're a financial brokerage firm who did their work on the company before the increase in revenue. And so I look at it saying, okay, not 5, I'll make it easy. It's 6. I didn't give it any value. $6. It should be the target. Well, it's 2.25. Who's throwing it out the window when there's in writing from a brokerage firm, not Capybara, the fraud, from a brokerage firm saying the company's worth 5 or whatever? Who's selling it at 2.25? Nobody's selling it here. And I'm glad I can help out the gentleman. His wife's giving him a tough time. It's very, very, very difficult. Financial stress kills people. I've said that from the beginning. If you
That's
follow
for
me, I've
sure.
always told you. It hurts. It kills. People have heart attacks. It's awful. It could hurt your performance at work. Anything could happen.
Or in bed.
It could help. It could make people go rob a gas station if they need money for food. Who knows what happens? And the SEC looks the other way and walks right past us.
That's right.
Walks right past us. They all know what's going on, and they walk right past us, laughing at us.
Do you think TELO had a toxic note?
It has they opened up a trading at 1047. They got a debenture at 1049.
You're just joking.
Yeah, I'm only kidding. I am joking. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I didn't hang
Oh,
up.
I was only joking. Nothing happened. Nothing. What could have possibly happened? It's a public company, 4 hours.
Did you guys see Daniel Borders post today attacking you? What happened with him? I don't know. I met him at Atlantic City. To me, he's a dime a dozen guy you meet at conferences, but hey, so I guess so am I. Oh, Ham's friend who owns the TELO float should make sure that he hasn't lent
I
those states.
reported it to the. I'm waiting for Mr. Bazile to get in contact with me, which he tried to reach out to me, and we're going to get this to the U.S. Attorney and the FBI.
Good.
I have nothing to do with the company. I just can't believe that it's actually happened, and I heard about it, so I told you about it. That was it. And go read what the company does. It can actually save lives, and they tried to kill it 3 hours into being a public company.
Frankie bought 100 at 610 today. That's pretty cool.
All right.
That's better than I did. I bought 15, I guess, at around 7.25. 10 at 8 and 5 at 665, I think it was. Whatever that works out to. Finger. Oh, one guy here said that Raymond James was not allowing buys on ZJYL, and that is a conservative back office. I doubt they're playing in any of the reindeer games. So it's an interesting observation. Dadif says Finger is a screaming buy. This is a question which I can answer afterward. What happens if you transfer NextBridge certificates to Charles Schwab, but if AST is full already, what do? Are they now worthless? No, Martin, call in to AST, give them, they've got a good computerized system. They'll even recognize your cell phone number, but call in, give them your, whatever they ask, and they'll say, we show you own 10,000 shares. And anyway, if you have the physical certificates in your hand, it's already on the books of AST. That's not saying you shouldn't send it to AST, but they already have a record of it. Once it's in your name, AST has a record of it in your name. So don't worry. Be happy.
Any other questions?
I'm looking with ZJYL. Is it possible they see the GTC orders and then act around them?
Yeah, this is just blatant attacks.
And we're so small in this deal. Even if all of you own 1,000 shares, we're still really small in this deal.
Oh, you guys. There's no way everyone that I know could account for that volume. It's impossible.
Yeah. Somebody Mexican is saying somebody create an image of me and Ham on Twitter blaming us for ZJYL. Well, frankly, I'm not down.
What is ZJYL right now, William?
I'm not down on ZJYL. Hang on.
What price is
hang on, relax, everyone.
750 times 20, so it's got to be 140, like 150, like almost.
The last trade is 762. 762. So times 20, that's 140 plus 12. It's got to be a 152.
It was about 100. We started talking about 100. It wrapped it up to 200. It went up to 300. It's up. It's down. It's all over the place.
I'm still.
You know what?
I'm still up.
Listen, William. I'm talking about the general. Anybody can own 10 shares higher. I got it. Right. It's all fraud. No one sells stocks like this. Get it through your head. It doesn't happen like that.
Right. Exactly. This isn't. There's not any. What's the word? Validity to these prices or the sales. So if Borders is saying, Anyway, it's not even worth talking about. If my invitation stands open, if he wants to meet me in front of the SEC, I'll be there. We can go in and he can file a complaint on me, but bring his books with him.
Well, if he wants to take me, just send me to a good prison. That's all. I want to send me to a prison where they have a softball team and a pickleball court. I'm good.
This guy is wondering, was it a mistake to divert into so many names? Maybe we should have just stuck to GTII. I don't agree with that, but I'll listen to him.
No,
Call from Carol Gilmore.
2 stocks. I own some GDC, Finger Motion, and GTII. That's it. I can talk about it. I love NVIDIA at 460. I said it 1,000 times on the call. It went to 700, but that took away the buying crowd. These guys keep selling it. We're not losing people because people are selling because time is a killer. The SEC does nothing. That's the problem. I worked on the trading desk. If I said the same name every day, people would hang the phone up on me. Would you listen to me talk about GTI all day? Hey, you want to go get a good call? Go listen to MMTLP calls. Now, I support them, but how many times can I listen to a conference call for 3 hours about a stock that's not even trading? I can listen to it 10 times. I'm not listening to 100 times. Goldman Sachs recommends 50 new stocks a day. Not everybody buys it. That's just the way it is.
Apparently, all three of our
William.
Yeah.
I just told you TELO. I don't have any money to buy it. I'm just telling you about what happened. ZJYL. I heard it was going to be a squeeze. They own the whole goddamn company. The stock went up. It went to 3 something. It actually went to $50 a share. I mean, excuse me, was it 50 or $1,000 pre-market? I missed it. I saw it at 16. That's when I got up. I saw it at 16. 16 is about 325. The hell do I know? But who's selling it down? You're telling me people that bought 2 shares and 5 shares are selling it as fast as they can to get out. There was no panic when it was 300, 250. It was dropping $50 a day.
Yeah.
It went from 280 to 220.
Yeah.
No one panicked. Didn't even trade. He traded 5,000 shares that day, William. Anyone who's reporting that this is a fraud is an idiot. The only thing you need to call is the SEC and tell them to settle the trades. There's your problem.
That's right.
And you say, well, how do you prove that? Well, it's right there. Just go look at TELO. It's not a small Chinese company. It's a small U.S. company working to save your life, everyone's life. If anybody had a family member who took the shot, and I know there's plenty of it out there, this company has a chance to help remove that poison from your blood so you don't drop dead. But you know what? The shorts don't give a shit. You could all fucking drop dead. That's the message they're sending to you. I hope you all fucking drop dead. So if anyone drops dead this weekend, let me know. That's what it's about. And there's many companies that are good companies, and they're all being destroyed. I had a call with an attorney before, and he gave me a great line. I just forgot what the hell he said. He said, the SEC and the short sellers, they're just here to wait us out so that we die slowly.
That's
They want
right.
these stocks to go down to pennies.
That's
You to
right.
give up. They reverse them, and it takes away their position. That's all they're trying to do. That's the game plan. There's nothing else to it. That's it.
That's right.
There's no crime once you reverse the stock. All the bodies are buried. Everyone's dead. If a company gets a takeover bid, for example, the CEO of Rum told me they can't take the stock down. I'll just buy the company. I got money in the bank. Well, that's what they want him to do. Because if you sold it at 11 and he buys the company back at 50 cents, they're making $10.50 and you make their problem go away. There's many different ways to make the problem go away. It's all in favor of the criminals.
That's exactly right. So I'm never speaking to Sam O again. He said that I'm such a not you, I am such a lousy pumper. Nothing ever goes up.
Well, that's the best part. We're so good at pumping. How come everything goes down? We're awful at it. That's because we don't sit around all day dialing telephone numbers trying to get people to buy the stock.
Right.
That's a pumper. That's what a pumper does.
Right.
I'm here trying to educate you on different names.
And the pattern.
GDC is following exactly what ZJYL is doing. ZJY goes up, this one's going to go. That's all it is. It started to go today, then it sold off. Why? Because what was the attack down to 2 for? Because ZJY was going down? It's got nothing to do with each other. What do they got to do with each other, right? Unless you can see the pattern, that's when you spot it. So imagine being a good trader. You could, when you saw them attacking it down to 2, you scooped it up and now you own some stock at 2.
Yeah.
This is how you got to learn to fight back and make money while we wait for the SEC or somebody to arrest somebody.
Well, a couple people are just pointing out that ZYJL is down and that, but just remember that whoever's shorting it hasn't covered. They're just playing. It's hard to explain, but they haven't made their money yet. Maybe one opportunistic day trader
Let's
has.
look at it this way, William. Let's change the channel here for a second.
All right.
We've talked about a bunch of stocks that have gone up, they go down, whatever they're. How could all the companies that are in different games, different products, different businesses, all act the same way? Every company that I'm in acts the same way. Does anyone ever think that there's something strange about that? That's how I look at it.
Oh,
What does GTII and Finger have together? What do they got in motion? What are they together? What's their business combination?
nothing.
I don't, there's nothing tying them together. They're 2 different companies from 2 different worlds. RUM is completely different. We talked about that. It went from 3.5. I told you everything in the conversation I had with the CEO. It went to 8. I didn't sit there banging my chest telling everybody I'm a winner. I didn't say anything. I hope it works.
Yeah.
It's just amazing that some stocks work, some don't. I can't tell you which one's going to be. I paid $3.80 for GDC, coming down from $5.50.
You're a hell of a pumper.
And a 10 million share update. I got run over and it went down to 180. Now it's turning around. So yeah, I'm cheering it back up to get even. That's what I'm doing. You don't like it, you sell it. Hey, I didn't cry. I'm down $2. I'm not crying. I'm a big boy. I take my beating like everyone else. But I just want to expose the fraud. And everyone here needs to understand it. And today you got a fresh lesson in a stock that no one owns or knows about, TELO. I put it up on Twitter. I reported it to the SEC. I reported to the FBI, the Secret Service, the DOJ. It's a crime that's 5 hours old now. 5 hours. They don't have to go back and do a lot of research. What did it trade? 350,000 shares? That's all it's traded. First day out of the box. You can't say it was overpriced. The guy bought the whole thing. Oh, it was overpriced. Well, the guy bought the whole thing. Who determined it was overpriced?
Well, they'll say it wasn't broad distribution. So when the selling showed up, there weren't buyers. But who's selling? There's nothing for sale.
They expected some buyers to come in, whatever, and nothing major, right? Instead, you got to catch a beating for going public. A brokerage firm brought that public. It wasn't a reverse merger. A brokerage firm out of Miami bought it public. So I'm sure they're pitching their clients to say, okay, there was no shares in the IPO, but you can buy it in the secondary market cheaper now. So I'm sure the brokerage firm will find buyers and it'll turn up.
Have you heard of Spartan Capital Securities?
Yeah, it's out of Tampa, they're criminals. They got caught a while ago.
Yeah, that's what the guy wanted to know. Are they toxic lenders?
Yes, they're crooks. Go, you can Google it. They've been busted by the end. I think they've been shut down.
They just changed their name then, right?
Yeah, no, he definitely walked out the door. Instead of being in Tampa, he went over to Clearwater or whatever it is next door.
I mean, the SEC is so concerned by this criminality that they follow up assiduously. Can the criminals take ZJYL below $1 and do a reverse split? So the married don't. No, it's not
Wait,
likely.
whoa. The company just did a forward split. You want them to do reverse now? They did a forward split 3 hours ago.
Yeah, I don't think it's likely. And they're not
So they
trying
should do
to stay.
You should do the reverse again, so we go back to 150 and start over again. Is that what you want?
Yeah. If Finger goes up, do you think GTII will go up, even in the short run?
Yes.
Is there a Finger dividend in the works?
Yes, it's on the tape.
There's a option clearinghouse, I think OCC means that, proposed rule change in the Federal Register to weaken margin requirements.
They want, in case these guys start blowing up, they want to give them more leverage so that they don't go bankrupt. But I think that's for bigger players. That's not for the small criminals.
Right.
That's for Citadel and I guess people like Goldman, guys like that level. That tells you how bad it is.
The DEEF is saying that they could listen to you talk about GTII all day. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll set up a second channel. We'll record Ham talking about GTII for 1 hour, and then we'll just put it on an endless loop.
I wish I could talk about it. I posted all the information about it. I put the information about Gretchen Morgensen going back to I can't remember how many years ago. These guys are criminals. They're loan sharks. They threaten people. We put Charlie Mayo's phone call up there to the company trying to get the company to sell them stock so they could cover their short after the debenture was paid off. GTII paid off Geneva Roth. That was the LLC that lent them the money. They paid it off. So now they're short, and now they're trying to cover. The stock squeezed up. It goes down. Who did we bust on the squeeze? Alpine. Their prime broker got busted. That's where we are now. Richard, not legal advice, was kind enough to listen to that boring trash with the FINRA and Alpine. Shut them down. Lock them up already. What are you kidding me? They're criminals. They've been robbing people for years. Everybody knows. But the court system allows the criminals time to work it out. What are they doing? We all believe they're trying to hide assets, trying to move positions, trying to do anything. So when the regulators when Alpine does go out, they're going to go into their house and see what's really there.
He turned all that boring data information into a really exciting video. I'm teasing, but he did. He did a video on it.
I watched it. And you know what? I take the pot gummies to sleep, but Richard is a close second. He was making it really happen.
I don't think he's going to take very kindly to that.
I think it's a compliment.
Wolf, I know. Wolf traded over 30 million shares, somebody's saying.
Is it still over 2?
I don't know. Let me look. I don't know. Does it really matter? Does it really,
Well,
really?
I got people who own a lot of it. I was just curious.
I guess it matters then. Let me look it up.
It's 220. It's too slow. Next, forget it. That's all right. I talked about WRAP. The gentleman that told me about TELO knows this company, WRAP. They shoot some sort of gun and they wrap up the criminals. They took it up the other day. It went from 4 to 7, back down. I said, hey, you know what? If you're playing this game, that'd be a good spot if you wanted to trade. Well, it's back up to 457. I guess my trading expertise works. I put it up on Twitter. I didn't just say it. I didn't buy it, but I'm a trader. I'm learning how to trade, right? There you go. Could have bought it at 4. It's 457. WRAP. The other day it went to 7 again. So I don't know what happened on the run to 7, but the smash back down and it turns and it goes right back up. That's trading. That's what I'm trying to teach you how to do. Learn how to pick a bottom, learn how to flip it, learn how to do this. You can do whatever you like. It's your money. I can't tell you to hold on to anything, or I would never tell you to do that anyway.
Well, I'll answer this quickly. What is my opinion on whether Sonny should keep MMTLP at the brokerage or transfer it to AST? Transfer, and do it as quickly as possible, because at some point it won't be possible anymore. But that's my opinion. You asked for my opinion. How many people are willing to go to the SEC as a group? Well, we did it before, but Augustine, maybe we should try it again.
It's very difficult for people to travel. You know, I have family issues. I could say yes, and tomorrow something comes up and I can't do it. You know, that's the way it goes. It happens in everyone's life. I don't want to say to everybody, let's go down there and show up with 8 people. You know, I wish we can get 1,000 people. I wish, but I don't think we could. And the shorts know that. And the shorts know that we break apart because we lose money. They know that. They know we can't operate as one because we all have different financial needs. You know, I told William a long time ago, my tooth was falling out of my mouth and I had to sell 1,000 shares of Finger to pay for it. And he goes, why are you selling it? I said, my tooth fell out of my mouth. What do you want me to do? I have no tooth. I mean, that's life. I couldn't do anything about it. What am I going to do? I didn't have the money, and that's why I have to do it. So if someone passes away, you have to sell your stock. If the kids go to college, you have to sell the stock. If an insider has to bury their parents, they have to sell their stock. Shit happens. That's the way it is. You have to figure it out for yourself. If you need help, please ask William. We could try to figure out something for you, hold your hand, and maybe give you hope or something. That's all we can do. But if I don't know the numbers or whatever you did, I couldn't help you. I don't know what to say. And Finger Motion, my good friend, invested $3.5 million, and he paid William, what price? Do you remember? You'll never remember.
No, he paid $6.
10.
I admit I was guessing.
And he still owns it.
If I was right, it still would have been a guess.
He still owns it. His average price on all his shares, I think, is around 5. Not sold a share, and he's still here. And he paid 10. And that money was to go to pay off Lynn Partners. But Lynn Partners had another idea to keep selling, him and his buddies, whoever the account is that's doing it, never stopping, because they know the SEC is allowing this crime to continue.
That's exactly right.
And we've done everything.
Something's beeping in my house. I hope I'm not getting invaded. Is Roth Capital a toxic lender?
No, my friend, if you have a question about Roth Capital, my very good friend is the head of institutional sales there.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to you about that myself because I know the head of investment banking, and my suspicion is their clients are shorts. That's my feeling.
Everyone's clients are short sellers. And the only people that are playing the game are the short sellers, the hedge funds. No one else is involved in the market. It's retail, and there's 500 of these middle of the road hedge funds that do all this naked short selling because that's the only way they can make money. There's no guarantees in anything on Wall Street. You can get an IPO, own the whole thing, and your stock goes down. There was a big fund, $150 billion fund that's shutting down because they can't make money in the market anywhere. What's his name? Einhorn or Greenlight Capital said today, the markets are disrupted by this trading, these patterns. The whole market is ruined, right? And he said that there's no fundamental value anymore.
There's no price discovery.
Excuse me?
No price discovery at all.
No price discovery. And I know people at Greenlight Capital. If they can't make money, because they can buy a stock at 50, they can buy it at 40, average down to 30, but it keeps drifting down. They're like scratching their head. This company has value of 100, but unless someone buys it and takes it up, they're standing there with a $20 stock, and they're down $30 in it. So the only thing that's working is criminal activity.
What's your feeling on GDC? Can it still go to 50?
GDC is following ZJYL today. It was going up, and then all of a sudden they attacked it. They went after ZJYL. You get these air pockets. They pushed it down to 2, bounced back to 2.25. I think the damage in that stock is over with, and I think like the $2 level area right around here is the spot to buy it. That's all. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, these are all trades. These aren't guarantees. We're not talking about T-bills here. But you're never going to get the bottom. You're never going to get the lowest price. It's just not possible. I always overpay.
I thought the other day I got the bottom in finger motion at 219. Then the next day I had my daughter buying it at 210.
Right.
So I was close to the bottom, but I did not get the bottom.
Geneva Roth Capital are bad guys, but she was asking about Roth Capital. It's a different company.
Yeah, Roth Capital, my friend, I know a long time. He worked at Oppenheimer. He's a class guy. He's an institutional guy. He's a biotech guy. As a matter of fact, he's the one that told me about ATL with the fat drug, the what do you call it? The obesity drug. It was $5.50. It went to $12.
Are you toothless or ruthless?
Both.
I agree with you, Kitteridge.
I have a quick story, and I have the photo of it. I had to get a wisdom tooth pulled out, and my wife set me up with the dentist to go look at it. And she said, "Don't worry, they won't pull it tonight. They're just going to tell you what they have to do." I went in there, and the guy climbed on my chest with a pair of pliers and yanked it out without giving me a needle. And I said to him, I said, "So, where did you get your training, in the Civil War?" I came home with all kinds of gauze pairs. My mouth was bleeding like crazy, and the guy just yanked it out for $200. So I didn't get the old shot. I got nothing. That's a true story. And I have the tooth, and there's little meat on the bottom of it.
That's disgusting.
Well, I just thought I told you it was a good story. I
don't think it is. I don't think there's anything good about that story at all.
Well, that's what happens when you don't go to a real dentist, I guess. My dentist isn't on Madison Avenue, sorry. He's working at a butcher shop, I think.
All right. What's your opinion about both FINRA and SEC distancing themselves from offshore short sales, calling them outside of their jurisdiction?
They let this go on so long. Let's look at it this way. This is what my friend, the attorney, told me before. We thought it was a mess back in 2000, right?
Right.
How big of a mess do you think it is now?
Oh, well, it's pretty big.
We thought it was huge back then. To me, this is like what you're seeing in all these different names is out of control. What they did in that stock, is it symbol TELO? I can't remember.
TELO. TELO hit a new low.
Whatever they did in this stock today shows you they sell and could care less what the ramifications are.
Right.
So to me, it's coming to a head when the inmates are running around like this crazy. The warden's going to shut them down sooner or later. It's got to come to a head now.
Yeah, that's right. That is right, Jennifer.
They're so brazen, so out there that it's like they're not even hiding anymore.
This gentleman says, to be honest with you, I never want to invest in the stock market again after this.
I agree 1,000%.
So do I.
Keep telling you.
That's the risk if the SEC's watching or FINRA's watching, or that lard butt at FINRA and over-the-counter markets. You risk losing a generation. I'm telling you. I remember how hard it was to talk to people about its stocks 45 years ago. You'll lose a generation, but keep on keeping on if you want.
Listen, they're wiping out. If some of the investors on the phone call at 25, that means they already stole from your parents. Now they're stealing from you. And when you get married and have children, if they don't stop this, they're going to be stealing from your kids. So if you're 25, 30 years old, and you want to get a life started, and you want to make money in the equity market so that you can buy a new car or buy a house or go on vacation and make some extra money, you can't. It's impossible. If you learn how to trade, it's a different story, but most of us do not know how to trade.
What's your opinion of the value of Finger just in a normal marketplace, and how high will it go in a normal, as a normal stock?
The company said they only touched 5% of the Chinese cell phone market. They're not even warming up yet. And again, the most important thing you can go ask anybody, if you do have ties to the equity market, small companies, go search all the small companies that you're involved in. I'm not saying they're good, bad, or indifferent. Small companies cannot get a press release from a major company because big companies are afraid of small companies because there is fraud in the small company. They don't want to get dragged into it and hurt their brand. Finger Motion has dealings already with Munich Re, Pacific Life Re, China Mobile, China Unicon. That's just 4. And AIZ Assurant, which is another $10 billion US company. Companies do not align themselves unless they check you out, right?
Right.
People do a background check. These companies would never give you a press release because they're afraid that you could say that you have all this wonderful stuff, get a press release out, use their name to get your stock higher. So they never do it. It's impossible to get. unless you're a real deal. And Finger Motion, I just labeled 4 or 5 companies that have deals with.
Ricky Don't Lose My Number tells you that his middle name is Gummy. That's Richard.
Well, I'm actually going to go there tonight. I got to get some fresh ones. I think I OD'd the other night. I took too much.
You OD'd on
took
gummy
50.
bears? Gummy bears?
Yeah, I think I took too much. I was flying. I got up and I was singing the national anthem at 3 a.m.
Are you sure those gay guys aren't still around your house that your wife brought home?
I'm gonna check the closet.
All right, I ran out of. Oh, we could. That's a good idea. We could start an ETF that made sure. I don't know how we could do it. They would still screw it up. Just
Well,
only
listen,
buy stocks that are legit. And
No, you can't do anything. It's too complicated. All I know is, William, listening to the great Rodney Dangerfield, he said a joke the other day. I watched it. He said that he has a terrible drinking problem, and that he had to locate his car from drinking all night, and then
bring the one he drove home back to the owner.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, he goes to Alcoholics Anonymous. I still drink though. I just use a different name."
Anyway, wait, give me the closing prices and I'll go on my way.
405. Okay, let's go with the closing prices. Oh, there they are.
I have to go pump the stocks to everybody right now. I have to go out there and pump stocks.
Pump up the volume. ZJYL closed at 769, actually up on the day. Oh no, that's extra hours. Closed at
742.
746, down 42%, but it's up already. And Finger closed at 230, up 5 cents.
Another monstrous day. Finger, yesterday we had up 3 cents. Today we're up 5 cents. We're grinding higher.
GDC closed at 223, down 7 cents. And TELO hit a new low at $5 even, down $2 even.
That's going to be so interesting, because I'm sure the gentleman that put up the money to buy all this float is going to be pissed off. I don't think they're going to be happy that I've been exposing on them what happened. I think they have to get their lawyers and do their own little investigation. But it is interesting, though.
TELO hit a new low.
All right, listen, everybody, and I wish Ace a good football game for his 49ers on Sunday. And I basically couldn't care less who wins. They could kill each other if I care.
Would you believe I'm not going to be watching it? It's a good time to go shopping.
Are you in a coma? Where are you?
I'm going to go shopping. The supermarket will be empty.
You should go shoplifting at that time. No
or shoplifting, yeah. We'll get a band of old.
Listen,
yeah.
I'm gonna drop you. If you need me, I'm around. And listen, just stay away from idiots. Don't address these guys.
This guy says AA is for quitters. Yep. That's it. AA is for quitters.
But again, listen, guys, like that guy Dan, he's just yelling. He's making noise. He's trying to deflect.
Well, that guy is exposed, because talk about a pumper and a guy that went out there.
I don't want to get involved in it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to get involved.
He's just trying to cover up his failures, and I don't care. He can do whatever he wants. Anyway, listen, everyone. Have a great weekend. And if I come up with any good information, I'll get William. We'll sign back on and relay it to you. All right?
Yeah.
Have a great night, William. Thank you.
You're welcome. You mean Finger Nunya. You mean Finger.
Call and
Chinese New Year tonight. All right, I have to take this call.
Keep your
Just a
mailbox
second. Just a second. Sorry about that. Not legal advice is the sort of fellow you'd want in the trenches with you. Well, not when he's reading Ogden Nash. The trouble with kittens is that they grow up to be cats, or they grow up to become a cat. Anyway. All right, it's 4:15. I don't really have anything more to say. Let me look at this, the price. CAUD closed at 108. It might be the beginning of something impressive. I see ZJYL closing at 743. There's nothing new on HNRC. Let's see where it closed. But I did, because of the very thoughtful Billy Ray Valentine, I am now comfortable that the CEO is working in the best interest of all shareholders. It doesn't mean that he didn't take a toxic note, but I see no evidence that he did. But if he did, that's the only thing that explains the price down here. But why do I own NRC? They're going to do a dividend of as much as 15 cents a share, although their share base expanded, so I don't see how it can be that much. Let's call it 10 cents a share, as much as 10 cents a share. Cash. Risk is, he said it might be a stock dividend, but that's number one. Number two, the HNRA, which was a SPAC, it's de-SPACed. They own Pogo producing properties in New Mexico, which are worth over $400 million, and it's growing, and it's all proven, and it's cash flowing, and etc. Unfortunately, the criminals got them to do a deal down at these prices, but even allowing for that dilution, it's worth $12 to $15 a share. It's trading at $2. We own something like 7 to 10% of that company. They're going to distribute. HNRC is going to distribute as a dividend the shares, our ownership of HNRA. And then the third reason is that HNRC, you can look it up in their press releases, has a net asset value of $2.32, according to them. But you know what? When you're a CEO, you can't put that out without it being accurate. Ogden Nash said, "Do you know the trouble with kittens is that they always grow up to be a cat?" Something like that. He didn't much like cats. Hey, Jean. Oh, it was on after hours? He's kidding, but not. I don't know. I don't know what. I don't know if I'm kidding or someone else is kidding, or it's not legal advice is not kidding. He's not funny, and I'm telling you, I'm not kidding about that. All right, so it's 4:19. I think I'm going to sign off. My computer is freezing, so it's a good indication to just let everybody go. I hope I know it is. But hey, I'd rather have dirty mayo in my trench hole than almost anybody. Thank you, Lee. So anyway, I'm going to wish everyone peace, love, and happiness. And if you can stand it, if you don't like football, I highly recommend listening to Vladimir Putin's interview. Not so much that you have to love him, but I was impressed with him. And what we forget as Americans is the Russian, it's not just he who says it, the Russian soul, this long suffering, but also mostly Christian soul that has gone through 1,000 years. Anyway, I thought it was a very interesting interview. But the main thing is the world is changing, and we can't bomb ourselves out of that change. And why spend all this money in the Ukraine when we could be fixing up our highways, our rails, our schools, our hospitals, bringing jobs back, etc. So anyway, I think that's interesting. And Alexander, sell. I can't give you specific advice, but I would, if you're in any of the stocks I've talked about on Monday, sell them all. Just get out and just take the financial pressure off of yourself and take the mental pressure off. Just get out of every single one on Monday morning. If you have capital left over, I would buy, if you want to put it somewhere, you can put it wherever you want to. And I can think of some places to put it. I think buying physical silver, which you hold at home or you put somewhere out of the system, you can make how much ever money you've lost back and multiples of that, because I think silver has a run ahead of it, bar none. But otherwise, just get out. Just get out. Don't mentally be involved anymore. And financially, you already have the losses, so I don't know what you're hoping for. Just sell, move on. I have no idea what decisions you've made along the way. There's been opportunities for trades, establishing tax losses, taking your money off the table so you're trading for free. But I guess you didn't do any of that. So, Alexander, it's not financial advice, but Monday morning, sell everything. Get the hell out. Hellman's. Uh-oh. Not Legal Advice is doing a live stream with Curtis of MMTLP. See, I'm always left out. Curtis, I like Curtis very much. That's with a K. Curtis with a K. Saturday night at 8 p.m. I'm going to start a live against the channel and see who gets more. No, just kidding. I do recommend Curtis very much, very, very much. And I think it's great that Not Legal Advice and Curtis, this will be about MMTLP. So I highly recommend tuning in to Not Legal Advice YouTube on Saturday night. I ain't got no money. No, it's another Saturday night and I ain't got nobody. I got some money because I just got laid. No, I just got paid. Oh, how I something and something. Yeah. All right. So, well, let's leave it at that. Saturday night, 8 p.m. I assume New York City time, Curtis with a K, not with a K, not legal advice with a K, and well, according to, I mean, you can find all this information yourself, but according to Frank Kristen, they've had it in front of the SEC for approval to trade. It's now been at least almost a year, if not over a year. There's a quiet period on world. It's WDHI, by the way. There's a quiet period. He owns 17% of it, or HNRC does. So he also mentioned they're in a quiet period because they're acquiring other companies. Some people say it could trade to $5 or $6. It's priced at $3.50 on acquisition costs. Who knows? My guess is it goes down because everything goes down. But it's not trading because there's a delay from the regulators. But that's all I know. In November, he said it should be trading by the end of the year. That's last year. Well, now we're February. What are the odds? Maybe it starts trading in the first quarter. I look in my account. It hasn't happened yet, but that's all I know about that. I'm in an awful way. Oh, it's another Saturday night, and I ain't got nobody. All right, I'm going to sign off. Say your prayers for peace or peace, worldwide peace or worldwide peace. And hopefully it's for all the children. And hopefully that interview yesterday can go through a measure of waking up the women who run the war machine in the Biden White House. Maybe they can pick up the phone and talk to their counterpart in Russia, and we can step back from World War III. That's something worth praying for. I'm late. Yeah, I'm late for an important day. All right, so I'm going to say good night. Say a prayer for Jenny L. Say a prayer for all the hardworking people in your community. A prayer of thanks and a prayer of help. Maybe even say a prayer for a breakthrough in this situation. Pray for Gary Goldman Gensler to get a heart. Maybe he will. Anyway, so peace to everybody. Cheers.